All right, so I just thought of this one. How to have more experience in consciousness in less time, or how to get more out of less time. So, the trick to this is that a lot of people, what they initially do is they will come at it like, how many things can I do in this specific amount of time? And they'll try to increase the amount of things that they can do in a specific amount of time. Now, what if you shift your perspective and instead of trying to do more things in a specific amount of time, you try to expand your perception of time to where you perceive time differently, and you perceive time in a way that time feels slower in the moment to you, and therefore you can think and act and feel and do everything technically more quickly because you literally perceive time in a different way. So when you shift your perspective on time, say you expand your perspective to see that you've lived many lifetimes already, and that time is a relative and fake thing, and that time can be manipulated and distorted inside of your mind depending on what mood, emotions, what different kind of situations, all these different things can manipulate time for you. And this is actually something that's really interesting too, because think about it. When you hear about people who they're about to get into a big car accident, what do they remember? They remember that the car, or time inside of the car, felt like it slowed down right before the point of impact. And people say that before they have near-death experiences, that time appears to slow down to an almost infinite degree. And sometimes when you take a substance, or you are really excited, or you're jittery, or you're anything like this, time can feel like it's sped up, meaning like you feel like you can get more things done in a span of time, but you also feel like time moves faster relative to the amount of things that you're getting done. So you're still running on the same time, but you're just doing things a little bit faster. And that kind of falls into that first category that I was talking about. Now, the shift in perspective, what it is it's seeing this larger and larger and larger cycle of time. And you understand that a life is one cycle. Say, one round about the sun is one cycle. One turn of the sun around the solar system or the galaxy is one cycle. The solar system. One movement of the Milky Way galaxy around the larger, nebula or whatever, would be another cycle. And all of these would take specific amounts of time. And through a human perspective, there would be no way that you could perceive the amount of time that it would take for the Milky Way galaxy to make one orbit around whatever bigger galaxy that it's orbiting around. You see what I mean? Like, it would be such a huge amount of time that you would have no way of perceiving it. It would literally seem as though it was not moving at all when you're in your perspective. And in that perspective, you would be able to perceive all this stuff and get a specific amount of things done and a specific amount of time allotted to you in a lifetime. And this is kind of like how we've lived, for most of the time. But what if we could live in a different dimension of consciousness where time works differently too? And you work differently in time, and time works differently with you. This is what we're shifting into. This is the actual shift of consciousness that we're talking about. And I guess I'm finally getting a little deeper into this, but this is the shift of consciousness that we're talking about. And the first thing that happens is a perception shift of time. And when this happens, sorry, I'm just shifting these crystals. And when this happens, what happens is that you start to experience more cycles of thought. Maybe not even thought. It's not thought. What it is, it's downloads in a way. It's like it's instant perception of the ways that the universe works together with itself, and it's based on your perception, remember. So it's also based on unity as well, meaning your unit of consciousness, or your ability to be able to see all as being a creator. I mean, you can still have downloads in a way without having seen that, but they're not going to be as deep or profound as they will after having seen that. And when I say deep or profound, what I mean is something that is literally like, it does not even feel like it's human consciousness. This feels like literal super consciousness. This feels like something that is not of what I see in humans. I see very rarely do I see this in humans. But what this is literally having time be perceived differently by you. And what it feels like is when you're in the moment and you're truly here and doing things, and your mind's not distracted by other things that you feel are good, bad, indifferent, or whatever. When you're truly here, time has this interesting thing where it dissolves, and it's based truly on the perception of whatever it is that you're experiencing. So literally it kind of plays out in a way where you get to experience, and it feels as though it's smooth the same way it is like this, but you get to also experience the intricacies of the in-between moments, if that makes any sense. So it's almost as if every second is extended out to being 2 seconds or 3 or 5 worth of information, but you're still experiencing the third dimensional body and this third dimensional consciousness, meaning like this third dimensional reality. It's still being experienced. So when it comes down, it kind of it gets torn a little bit. I literally just forgot what I was talking about. So time. Okay, yes, it's time. Put time perspective. That's weird. That literally felt as though there was something there trying to get me to stop talking, but that was weird. Okay, so time and the perception of time. We're just gonna disregard that, and that was nothing, and it didn't do anything to me. So anyways, so the perception of time is altered in a way that you start to perceive more things per second, or more things per whatever unit of consciousness that you want to kind of go by, or unit of time. So when you go throughout your day, the weird thing is though, if you feel you're going through some turmoil or something like this, in this 5-dimensional state, it's not, you don't stop feeling the emotions, and it doesn't get rid of the turmoil. All it does is alter your perception of time, so that you can change your perception of time to maybe collapse a little bit, to where the moment, yes, you experience it fully, but when you look back on it, it doesn't look like it was a very long time. And you can even do that almost in the moment, where you can, in this moment, look back on it in this moment, which is really weird, and it sounds weird, but those who get it will get it. But you literally will kind of alter your perception immediately. I almost lost it again. So here we go. Time and your perception of time. Okay, this is not the normal. Oh, and another thing's coming up. Okay, so we may be coming up to a close at the moment. I may cut this out actually.